The next paradox I'm going to tell you is something called the unexpected hanging paradox. Now this paradox is clever because it's based on a story where a executioner told a prisoner that he was going to be hung at some point in the next week. But he wouldn't know he's going to be hung, because it's going to be a surprise, until they knock on his door. So they're going to hang him when it isn't a surprise. The prisoner obviously figured out a way how to get out of this, because you're about to be hung, you're obviously going to figure out an escape route. So the prisoner knows he can get out of this because if he hasn't been hung by the Thursday, then he knows for a fact that he has to be hung on the Friday, so he can't be hung because it won't be a surprise. Then by extrapolation, you can figure out that, well, if I haven't been hung by the Wednesday, I can't be hung on the Friday because it won't be a surprise, thus I have to be hung on the Thursday, thus making that as not a surprise. So what about Tuesday? If I haven't been hung by Tuesday, then you see what I'm getting at? Because I've tried many times to explain this during outtakes, but that's what I'm getting at. He basically extrapolated the backwards, figuring out that he hasn't been hung by the day before, then he can't be hung the day after because it won't be a surprise, and all the other days after that. Do you get this? You getting me? But then the judge won in the end because on Wednesday he came and hung the prisoner. Now the prisoner, all the way through, thought he was getting out of it. He didn't expect the executioner to come because he'd done all this logic to figure out that he can't possibly come because he was expecting it. But because he wasn't expecting the executioner to come because he was expecting it. Paradoxes are hard to explain. Do you understand? I think that is a brilliant paradox. If he hadn't done all the working out, then he would have been hung anyway. Because he had done the working out, he didn't think he could be hung. But he could be hung because he wasn't expecting to be hung, and thus the paradox comes full circle and the judge wins, like the judge always wins. I love that paradox. That blew my mind. That was amazing.